Okay, it's an honor to be here to tell you a little bit how business works in good old Europe. A little bit different, and we have a different situation, even though we face a little bit the same challenges. Just a little bit, what is Barcotec actually all about? Barcotec, yes, barcode is one technology we focus. What we do, it's actually about you have any goods, any parts, I don't know, whatever it is, you have to identify them, you have to read this identification, then you have to work with this data. This is actually what this is all about in a very brief way. And as you see, the HMT already plays an important role. Why is it so important for us to have a complementary, and what does that mean in mean of change? And technology and innovation is change. If you have something fancy in your hand, it's cool, but if you set it on your head or you wear it on your body, it gets different, even though it's probably the same technology. And so we know exactly in a 30-year history what actually this means. And getting your hands back again and to free your hands, it's really, it's the touch of the point what it's all about, especially in our business, what we're doing for 30 years now. So what's the challenge actually in Europe a little bit different? First of all, we called it the distribution journey. First of all, we had a lot about solutions and lots of great software companies even exhibiting out there. We don't do software. We do hardware only. Sounds strange? No. The HMT is for the end user the most simple device. Unpack, switch on, put it on and say what you see. No introduction, no data sheet, no workshop, whatever you want. It's very, very easy to understand. And you heard several times already, like Brian, for the Finnish guys, he put it on and tried. And this is the difference. The first time you say my camera and it makes bzzzt, you, it works. And this is the big difference. For the end user, it's the easiest way to work with this. Of course, there are a lot of solutions, but you don't always need any software in an additional way. Sounds strange? Very simple example. We have a company whose production in the food vehicle, and they integrated 5 refugees. They're from the Arabic state, and they're pretty fluent in German, in talking and in hearing, but reading is a catastrophe. So what did they? They just took the HMT, made a video from the production process, and just commented what they do. And then they just handed over the HMT to the refugees, and they were on their own in this production process. Know exactly what to do, how does it look like, easy stuff. So, how did we start the business 2.5 years ago? One of the first steps is that we did a local go-to-market for the Central Region Europe. Barcotec is an Austrian company, so we're in the German-speaking region. So the first thing is what we did is have German materials about all the RealWear stuff. What does that mean? For potential clients, for potential partners, you have a local culture you're talking into there. You have a local time zone, very important, and you have a local person you get in touch with. So just pick up the phone, you have any questions, whatever it is. So this was very important, very locally. What's next? Hardware. Around hardware, you can build lots of services. The first thing we did, and this is was not very popular for doing this in the first stage, we try as hard as possible to have devices on stock. So clients, partners do not have to wait for 6-7 weeks or longer to get the device. It could be there the next day. As you know it from your consumer life, this is what people expect, or you expect. The second thing is due to General Data Protection Regulation. This is special in the European Union. We built together with 42 Gears a mobile device management platform where you can monitor, stage, configure, and comply the HMT from the very first beginning. What does that mean? In addition, we can offer custom staging for partners and for clients. So, for instance, a client wants to have the HMT with the solution of Ubimax, we heard before. So the device doesn't have to go to Ubimax and then be sent to the client. We pre-stage the device and send it directly to the client. And even if Ubermax wishes not that there's any Barcotec, we rebatch the shipping. So the customer just see, okay, it comes from Austria, interesting, but that's it. Okay, so very, very short way and direct support for our partners. Much more than this, we offer service and maintenance for the HMTs. We have specialized service technicians for this, but the good story about this is not a big deal because the percentage of HMTs not working anymore is, yeah, it's absolutely the best, I think, in the in the area we're working in. So, what comes next is pretty simple. We do matchmaking. What does that mean? I mentioned before that local go-to-market. So we have product web pages about the HMTs, the 1 and the Z1. By the way, when will the HMT-2 come up? That was one of the questions I always wanted to raise. So we promote our partners there with use cases, with showcases, with stories, press releases, whatever it is. We advertise any events they do on fair trades. For instance, you probably heard of Hannover Messe. It's the biggest fair trade in the whole world in industry. On more than 50 booths, the HMT was present in a use case, more than any other wearable at the whole fair. Okay. And this is something we promote there. And of course, if someone gets in touch with us and says, hey, I need a solution in this or that area, we can recommend 10 partners in your area especially. Okay, so the way we help to find the potential clients, the right partners for their solution in case they need anything like this. And then there is something we found out is very it's very important, not impossible, it's very important in partners and clients and projects in general. Barcotec has a ROP. This is my favorite slide, of course. What does that mean? It's not about me as a person. It's in general. You need someone who is dedicated to that topic, to that process, to the project, at the partner, at the client. What does that mean? I'm the single point of contact for everyone. So if a partner, if a client wants to do some marketing, has a technical support question, whatever it is, of course, not always comes the answer directly from me. For me as a person, I distribute all those things, of course, internally at the Barcotec team, or even together with RealWear. But this is very, very important. As soon as you have a dedicated person, even if it's an innovation manager, things get rolling, okay? If it's just it's an interesting project and we do something like this, sounds interesting, yes, we buy one and then we see, well, not gonna happen a big story then, okay? So this is the message about identify the right persons who can really drive the business there. This is very, very important because this is already serious business. This is not a tool to play around anymore. Use cases. What's happening, especially or even in Europe? We classed a little bit of, okay, you're able to read, of course, what needs to be done, how to do it, what happened in the field. This is pretty typical. So what's the question about what's next? Any idea? We heard a couple of ideas today. What do you think, what is the next beyond field service, augmented reality, whatever it is? What do you think? Nothing? Data collection? No. First of all, everything. At the beginning, and still what we do, we go, at the beginning we went to our top clients, threw the HMT in the room and asked, okay, and now please tell me what you cannot use it. Tell me one process where you cannot use the HMT. Really? That quiet it was in the meeting at the beginning, and then we started discussing, okay, you can use it there, you can use it then. What we see as a next vertical or a next area, retail. Of course, we picked a lot of pictures where you use your hands. So how does out-of-stock management look today? Exactly like this, okay? It could like this tomorrow. This is I had a shooting for a calendar. I'm a calendar boy, okay, at Barcotec. There is a Bluetooth scanner because you're much faster than scanning through your hands, just a complementary tool, and you get your hands free. So the HMT gets a hub, probably, for daily processes you do. This could be a topic, just one topic. In our discussions with clients directly, we start in discussing where you can use it, and then finalize, okay, where do you start? Because if you understand the HMT as a platform, you don't start with one defined topic. You know from the very first beginning there are lots of possibilities. So lots of relationships and lots of, with the clients, start with one project, and then follow up with the same device as the same platform in other processes. So lots of possibilities, and I'm pretty thrilled what will be next. Thank you. Good morning.